What shall I do?
What will you do? Is this a question? Show that you know the poem and remind them what a poem it is. Well, you know what you must do. Go, confront the problem, fight, win, and call me when you get back, darling. I enjoy our visits.
Welcome to the Poetry Dojo,
where we learn to know our poems.
And learn to wield them to fight and win.
Today we are considering The Addressing of Cats by T.S. Eliot.
T.S. Eliot, we have already run into in a previous cat poem.
A couple of previous cat poems.
Yeah, a couple of them. I remember Macavity and
Growl Tiger.
Growl Tiger's Last Stand.
Yeah.
So this is the same T.S. Eliot. Yeah. He is the Englishman turned American.
Vice versa.
Vice versa. Yes. The American turned English. And so he shows up in English literature. And American literature, because everybody wants to claim him.
And with great cause. He's really quite a brilliant poet, I think. The Wasteland, of course, is probably his most famous work. Although I'm given to understand that Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats was the most lucrative thing that he published.
It's certainly, if only the copyright had continued all the way to the time of Weber, he would have made lots of money on cats, I'm sure. In any case, we continue with another poem taken from Old Possum's book. There's a fair scattering of them in this group. And this one is The Addressing of Cats by T.S. Eliot.
The Addressing of Cats by T.S. Eliot. You've read of several kinds of cat, and my opinion now is that you should need no interpreter to understand their character. You now have learned enough to see that cats are much like you and me and other people whom we find possessed of various types of mind. For some are sane, and some are mad, and some are good, and some are bad, and some are better, some are worse, but all may be described in verse. You've seen them both at work and games and learnt about their proper names, their habits, and their habitat. But how would you address a cat? So first, your memory I'll jog and say a cat is not a dog. Now, dogs pretend they like to fight. They often bark, more seldom bite. But yet a dog is on the whole what you would call a simple soul. Of course, I'm not including peaks and such fantastic canine freaks. The usual dog about the town is much inclined to play the clown, and far from showing too much pride is frequently undignified. He's very easily taken in. Just chuck him underneath the chin, or slap his back, or shake his paw, and he will gambol and guffaw. He's such an easygoing lout, he'll answer any hail or shout. Again, I must remind you that a dog's a dog, a cat's a cat. With cats, some say one rule is true: don't speak till you are spoken to. Myself, I do not hold with that. I say you should address a cat, but always keep in mind that he resents familiarity. I bow, and taking off my hat, address him in this form: "Oh, cat!" But if he is the cat next door whom I have often met before, he comes to see me in my flat, I greet him with an "Oops-a-cat." I've heard them call him James Buzz James, but we've not got so far as names. Before a cat will condescend to treat you as a trusted friend, some little token of esteem is needed, like a dish of cream. And you might now and then supply some caviar, or Strasbourg pie, some potted grouse, or salmon paste. He's sure to have his personal taste. I know a cat who makes his habit of eating nothing else but rabbit, and when he's finished, licks his paws so as not to waste the onion sauce. A cat's entitled to expect these evidences of respect. And so in time you reach your aim and finally call him by his name. So this is this, and that is that, and there's how you address a cat. The Addressing of Cats by T.S. Eliot.
Biggest danger in this would be make it sound like a poem.
Yeah.
It's a conversation. It's he's talking. You stand in the place of the poet of T.S. Eliot, and you're talking to a friend and
giving some friendly advice.
Yeah. The insights into something that your friend should know. And so your words should flow as though you were just having a normal conversation. Yes, the lines rhyme, don't lean into that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk as though talking to a friend. It just happens that your friend will be an entire audience hall filled with people listening to you.
People who have no experience with cats, and you've got to let them in on the secrets.
I must conclude that T.S. Eliot was definitely a cat person.
It certainly seems that way. He does a pretty good impression if he wasn't.
Yes.
I kind of wonder, you can buy a book called The Annotated Wasteland that is his poem, The Wasteland, his wonderful, great work, and it's all the notes that his friends left him to review and what choices he made about what words to change to better articulate his meaning. And I really wonder if he showed these poems to anyone, because it just has a very off-the-cuff feel, and I think it needs to have that in the delivery as well.
I'm certain that he did fashion each, but yeah, this is very casual. It reminds me of one of those old BBC specials that you might expect to hear some well-known BBC announcer doing the who was it that was so James Attenborough. James Attenborough on the addressing of cats. The cat poems that aren't telling a story, the cat poems that are telling a story, these are winning poems because the story's fun. And you lean into the story, you have a great time. The ones that aren't telling the story, this needs to be a casual meeting of friends.
Mm-hmm. And they drip with attitude. You got to bring some sass to it, some sort of character.
That's right. And this can be a winning poem, but it depends upon the familiarity of friends.
Mm-hmm.
As you present this information, again, it should be to your friend. Imagine, if you would, a friend who has come to the city for the first time. You've been living in the city for some time, and you are letting him in on some of the secrets of the city. And you're not snooty about it. You're just well informed.
Yeah, you have to know that in DC, you stand on the right side of the escalator and walk on the left side. If you stand on the left side, people are going to get annoyed at you for being in the way.
Or blocking the path. Yeah. So you've learned the secrets. In this case, you've learned the secrets of addressing cats in the big city. And so inform your friend. Have a good time doing it, and this can win.
Thank you for tuning in. This has been a Diecast Media Group production. Please recommend us to friends, family, relations, but not your competitors. Feel free to email us with questions at poetrydojo@diecastmediagroup.com. And tune in next time for another exciting episode and another fine poem.